Hello, this is Kathleen McKee of Oleans.com, Machine Embroidery Art.
Serif text, like block text, can usually be easily matched up with one of the hundreds of built-in or true type fonts that come with the software or that you have on your computer. However, this text, as you can see, is it's not even 5 millimeters in height. Even the largest of the text is still under 5 millimeters. So therefore, when you do choose, even if you choose a small text tool and you see, oh, this one could go under 5 millimeters, and so can this one and some of the others. However, none of them are serifed except for this one here, and it's kind of italicized. So that's not going to match up to the template. Now, we can do what we did in one of the last lessons by choosing a font that looks close, and in this case I chose this Serif Text, and it's a built-in, it's the first one. But it's telling me it's not going to look good unless it's at least 10 millimeters in height. But we're going to try to edit that like we did with, I think, was it the block? I think it was the block we used. So we'll choose this, and we're going to type in all caps, and we're going to try to size it up to fit the text we have here. Now I realize the first A and the other, this first P and the first A are larger than the other ones, but I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. Okay, but the reason why this is not going to work, and I'm going to put it in stitch view, and the reason why they recommend that it be at least 10 millimeters is because of the way it's digitized. When you look at the serif ends on this text, you see they go in the opposite direction of the satin, and here they go in the opposite direction of the satin. And when it really gets messed up looking is on letters like E, where you have this is going to pooch out on both ends. It's going to look bad. So we are going to hand digitize this serif to a small size that's going to look legible, and it's going to be the closest we can get to the template that we used. We're going to start out, first I want to get real close to it, and also, oh yeah, I was going to lighten it up, but I think I'll leave it like that. We're going to do it all with the manual punch tool. And as with any time I use a manual punch, I usually send out a runner first, and that's going to be my first top. I'm going to use a straight block to start out with. That will be the bottom, top, bottom. Now I'm going to send out a running stitch, and I'm going to send it way out, and then that will be my top, and I'm going to go to a straight block, and that will be my bottom. Then I'm going to come way in, and then I'm going to come way in here again. I'm going to send out my runner once again. I keyboarded at that time. If you hover your cursor over, you see that the running stitch shortcut is the letter V, the curve is the letter X, and the straight is the letter Z. And I'm all about shortcuts, so I'll just tell you what letter I'm pressing. Okay, and now I'm going to press the letter Z for a straight block tool. And then I'm going to right about here, and then my next ones are going to come way out, so that will create the serif ends. You see the difference in the way it looks from the other. Now we still have to make some edits on this. Let's go in stitch view so you can see it better. The edits we'll have to make in the sewing attributes is it will have to have a much lower density to be that small. And it will need some pull compensation, because if we measure our stitch, you can see between the two shortest stitches it's not a full millimeter, so we have to select that, and we need to add some pull compensation on it. But I'm going to wait till I finish doing all of the letters that I'm going to do before I add that pull compensation. But bear in mind, it will need pull compensation. So we see this little scissor icon, and we know that's where it ends, so we're going to use the curved block next. And the shortest point is between here and here. So I think I'm still going to, well, no, I'll see what happens. And this is the closest point. So keyboard V turns it into the running stitch. Keyboard X, because we want a curve block, and that will change our cursor to the curve block. Go way out and then come way in. And make sure you end up on the right side so that when you double click, you'll be at the closest section. And let's select that. I want to get rid of these undersewing so we can see what's going on better underneath, so we can see everything. Get rid of the undersewing. Okay, don't want to reinvent the wheel here, so we're going to select this S, and we'll do it this way this time. We'll just duplicate it. And then we'll move this here. And because it was less than 2 millimeters, it is not going to have a cut and trim type jump. So there's where it ended last time, and we're going to do one more letter, just this E. And I'm going to send out a running stitch. I'm going to start here. I'm going to take care of this middle part first, and that's going to be my top. So I'm going to go back to a straight block or keyboard Z, and going to go way out and then come way in. Keyboard the letter V to turn our cursor to the running stitch, and then I'm going to stick it way up here, and keyboard the letter Z, come way in, and digitize the rest of this E, and then come way back out again to get my serif on the E. Double click, and you can see that that does give you, okay, now we have to go and correct our pull compensations. So let's select all these letters. Whoops. And we're going to give them at least 2. We want the density under 4 millimeters, 4 lines per millimeter rather. I'm turning off or turning down the image so you can see there are no jump stitches. They do look like serifs, and they're going to sew out a lot better than these keyboarded text that we had done earlier.